Hi Aquarians, happy eclipse season. Let's find out what you need to know as we approach a new moon solar eclipse in Sagittarius, which will be right at the middle of the month. As we wrap up 2020 and approach 2021, prepare for 2021. The Eight of Cups has wanted to show a couple of times. And we will acknowledge that, as always, these messages might also resonate at any time. They are for any Aquarian energy, anyone who identifies as Aquarian at this time. Sun, Moon, Venus, rising, Mars, or any other placement, any other reason that you might be drawn to the Aquarian energy at this time. We are using the Shadowscapes Tarot deck for your messages this month, Aquarians. So far, we see the Empress, the Justice card, and the Four of Swords. And we'll go ahead and pull a few more as well. But I definitely see Aquarians presently in a state of creating, and probably creating abundance, wealth, giving life to at least something, maybe many things at this time. And as you're in that state, you are aware that there is something that you need to walk away from, that you need to leave behind. There's an imbalance present that you are aware of. That imbalance is crossing you, and your higher mind, when your ego is crossing it, knows that. It might be even as it could be, when I see the Justice card reversed here, even as bad as someone being abusive. But I definitely get the sense that whether it's on that extreme end of the spectrum here or not, whatever the imbalance is, Aquarians, you're not going to leave it present in this abundant, creative situation where, again, you are the creator, you are giving life to things. Yeah, you're catching the culprit for this imbalance, whether it's a behavior of your own or someone around you who is, it seems like maybe just taking advantage of you is a good way to say it in this instance. You are identifying who or what this is that's creating the imbalance, and you are going to be, in seeing the Eight of Cups repeat itself several times, I believe you'll be removing that from the situation. It doesn't line up with the creativity, the abundance, the vibration of gratitude and nurturing that we see coming through in both the past and the present. It just does not line up with those things. There's a misuse of power. Again, someone taking advantage of you, someone getting away with something. Are they stealing from you, or just stealing money from you, business from you? Just came through with the Eight of Pentacles below the Seven of Swords there as well. Could it be a boss who's being unfair to you? I see work, and I see a boss. And I also see the Hierophant reversed. Maybe someone who is supposed to be even a teacher-like authority figure who is, again, misusing power, trying to take advantage in some way in the situation. Now, again, this person will be identified, and with the Empress here, as the first card out in the reading, and representing the energy that's covering you, this message, this reading is sort of circling around, centering around a divine feminine energy. So as the creator, and one who is nurturing and giving life in the situation, you may be showing up as the Empress energy, a divine feminine energy, whether you identify as masculine or feminine primarily. But do just be aware, Aquarians, that if it is you who is centering around some other divine feminine energy, and you think you may be taking advantage of them in some way, you're aware that that's possibly the message is flipped and it's you who's showing up in that sense. Do be aware that it looks like the person who is being unfair, being unjust, acting like certain laws, whether we mean man's laws or the laws of nature, or a divine law, don't apply to them, aren't something they need to honor. Whomever it is that thinks that they've been sneaking around and getting away with something, it does look like they get caught. So be aware of that if it could possibly be you. I think for most Aquarians, though, I say that just to be safe, and that we are talking about maybe someone you work with, a boss of yours, or someone like a teacher or authority figure who, again, could be misusing their power. And it could just be, it could be a friend or family member who just shows up in those ways in your life, who is dominating, who bosses you around, who you have to listen to for some reason or another, or feel you do, or have felt you had to, and someone who's, trying to be sort of a teacher, but with the wrong motivations, with the wrong wisdom, quote unquote, something like that. And I wanted to say that the message could be flipped, because I do see that with the Seven of Swords reversed, Aquarians, you're not feeling like yourself in this situation. So it may be a misstep of yours, to become aware of, or to be aware of. That's possible. But I also think it's highly possible that Aquarians aren't feeling like themselves because of the situation. So it could really go either way. But I definitely see that you're aware, again, when your ego is quiet, your higher mind is aware of this imbalance with the Temperance card reversed. You may even be aware of a lack of patience, a lack of forgiveness that is fueling this imbalance. So if it is you who has misstepped, Aquarians, then it could be that because you're having trouble forgiving yourself or someone else, you are then inadvertently misusing your own power in some situation. Specifically for a few of you, you may be dealing with a Libra energy who is acting out of their sort of lower vibrations, and or their shadow selves in a negative fashion, in a selfish, sneaky, stealthy fashion, or at least it has been for some time. I don't think they continue to get away with this again, whomever the party may be. I do see that you're coming from, again, in the past, Aquarians, a space of gratitude. So many of you have taken the time to incubate the ideas that you are now watching blossom and flourish and create abundance for you, that you can now build off of, give even more life to, or grow new things off of. And in that space where you're taking the time to incubate those ideas, I think you found the need to, the time to, the right space and moment to really show gratitude for what had gotten you thus far. And it's so much of what has helped you blossom and flourish now, and so much of what's going to help you identify who or what aspect of yourself is still stealing some energy from you in some way, shape, or form. It may be literal, physical stealth, theft. But your approach is to deliver a message about this in a loving way. Okay, so especially if it's somebody, well, regardless of who it is to you, you know, especially if it is somebody who's familial to you, but you know, even of course friends, even certain coworkers in certain situations, you know, you may have a different type of love for these people, but the message is asking you to approach, deliver a message about this. The advice is saying, encouraging us here to deliver a message about this, approach this in a loving, caring fashion, maybe even a timid, innocent fashion. Could definitely be advising you not to necessarily show all of your cards just because you've realized who this person is, but it is, you know, sort of give them the opportunity to confess more than you know, type of thing, if that makes sense to you. But if it is some aspect of you, or even if it's someone else, the Page of Cups in the advice position, I feel, certainly suggesting and encouraging that we should remember that we're in this nurturing space of, again, for the fifth time probably, creativity and abundance, and that is something that looks very much to me like it's accessible to you, an energy that is covering you, and in most cases here belonging to you in this reading already. So the Page of Cups doesn't want us to compromise that nourishing energy within ourselves, and to protect what is yours and identify who may be taking energy that doesn't belong to them from you is one thing. And in this instance, the advice, the encouragement is that it's not necessary to be harsh in that protection. Again, if it's someone outside of yourself, there may even be the suggestion that seeming innocent and a little timid even could give them the opportunity to tell you the whole truth that you don't realize. But whether it's them, someone that is outside of you, or it's internal to you, you just don't need to be too harsh. There may be additional motivation here for not being too harsh to find out more, but there's certainly a need not to be too hard on yourself, and or not to be too hard on yourself through being hard on someone else, not to take yourself out of this state, this vibration of abundance and nourishing and creating and co-creating, by losing that loving vibration in the name of, you know, telling someone off, trying to make sure it doesn't happen again. It's just being encouraged here that doesn't seem to be necessary in order to correct this imbalance that you're very much aware of, very much about to identify a culprit for. And then moving into the future position, after all of this that we've talked about, we have the Nine of Cups for you, Aquarians. So an energy of feeling very self-satisfied with that identification and how we've handled that, delivering a message about it, hopefully in a loving, at least caring type of manner, maybe in with this, again, suggestion of being somewhat innocent in our approach, maybe even managing, more stealth than this other individual was able to, but just in a different way, in the you catch more flies with honey type of way, right? So we see the result here as a sense of a renewed or next level sense of self-love because of how we were able to take care of the situation, but handle it in a way that continued to take care of ourselves at the same time and maintain this very profitable, is what just came through, very profitable vibration that's attached to very profitable reality that's attached to the vibration that we're currently in, that's attached to those creations we're giving life to. So Aquarians, I think we will leave it there for your December 2020 messages. Again, as always, they might resonate with you at any time, but I am recording in the second week of December 2020, again, as that new moon in Sagittarius approaches, our Sagittarius solar eclipse, and as 2021 approaches. So Aquarians, I'll say happy holidays and happy new year in case we don't have another reading before the end of the year, but I do plan to. And if you are interested in ordering a personal reading from me, just scroll down to the description box down below to check out all of your new reading options and prices that were just recently updated. And until next time, I love you, Aquarians. Do take care.